DJ play a Christmas song. Sure, it's our record of the week, and Cher is a topic of conversation in Tracks of My Years. And it's a little bit different. We went to a hotel in central London. We sat opposite the icon that is Cher. We only had 30 minutes, so what we did was we got her to talk about some of her greatest hits, her big tunes, you know the ones I'm talking about, and then she chose her favourite Christmas song. So we get kind of a double-edged sword with Cher, which is awesome. And she looked fantastic. She was very, 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 very iconic, I will say, in the way that there's a lot of people milling around, a lot of people making sure that Cher was all right, but also they made us feel really comfortable because, you know, sometimes when you have a global superstar, people get a little bit intimidated, you know. But no, we were made to feel really comfortable. Cher was lovely. She was very nice. We had a great conversation about Studio 54, which, if you look at the photographs, it seems she was never out of that place. So that's coming up. Tracks of My Years with Cher.
And we fell in love right by a fireplace. We shared our first embrace, and then inside my heart I felt a fire start. It's gonna snow outside, the weather will be cold, but I'm gonna be warm this winter. Each time your lips touch mine, they taste like sparkling wine. I feel so warm and low, just 'cause I love you so. It's cozy in your arms, I'm yours to have to hold, but I'm gonna be warm this winter. I skated on a frozen lake, stay riding down a mountain slide, roasting popcorn, dancing till the dawn. That was how I knew love was fun. It's just like make-believe. Each night is New Year's Eve, each day is Christmas Day. You make me feel this way. It's gonna snow outside, the weather will be cold, but I'm gonna be warm this winter.
Gabriella Chilmy, Warm This Winter. Coming up, we're going to dive into the BBC archive for the first time this week. Very excited. We're going to go back to 1969. Another clip from Blue Peter. And of course, 10 to the top at 10:30. But for now, let's get all the latest, shall we?
This is Radio 2
on BBC Sounds and on your smart speaker. Play BBC Radio 2.
BBC News at 10 o'clock. This is Claire Ronogers. The government's looking at placing British lawyers in courts in Rwanda as part of a revived deal to send some asylum seekers there. It's understood that the Home Secretary, James Cleverly, could fly to the East African country this week to finalise the agreement. The previous version of the policy was ruled unlawful by the Supreme Court last month because of concerns about Rwanda's justice system. Our political editor, Chris Mason, says there's doubt in government about the idea of abandoning the European Convention on Human Rights to get the deal through.
I hear scepticism from within the Home Office about the idea of trying to leave the European Convention on Human Rights. So remember, this is a core part of the debate, particularly within the Conservative Party, about the approach to illegal migration. I get a sense that they believe that you would disrupt everything that is working, as they see it, the likes of the deals with Albania and indeed with France. But the government is attempting, playing around, you might say, to try and find a mechanism that will work.
Israel's army says its troops are moving into southern Gaza after a week-long truce with Hamas collapsed on Friday. About 170,000 Palestinians are being told to move further south. The United Nations says people are running out of places to escape the fighting. The government's facing a rebellion in the Commons as dozens of Conservative MPs say they'll back calls to extend compensation payouts to more victims of the infected blood scandal. Around 30,000 NHS patients were affected. The government says it's waiting for a public inquiry to publish its final report. Colin Smith's son, who was also called Colin, died at the age of 7 after being infected with HIV.
Over that period of time, I lost my job. The boss didn't want somebody with AIDS working out of his root customers. Our house was vandalised with AIDS dead written on it. Colin wasn't allowed to go to school. without a nurse. The main children in the school were brilliant. Just the problem was the adults. They didn't want them in the school.
A BBC investigation has shown how water companies are able to downgrade pollution incidents so they don't appear on official records. Documents seen by Panorama suggest United Utilities did this dozens of times last year, something the company denies. The Culture Secretary Lucy Fraser has said the BBC needs to be realistic about how much the TV licence fee can rise. It's been frozen for 2 years, but is due to increase in line with inflation next year. Ms Fraser said the issue was under discussion.
Costs are rising across the board. We did freeze the licence fee to protect people. It is due to rise with inflation. We will enable it to rise with inflation, but we are looking very carefully at the rate of inflation.
Spotify has announced it's sacking 17% of its global workforce. Around 1,500 jobs are being cut. The company says the layoffs are needed to meet financial goals. BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 10.
Thank you, Chloe. Ladies and gentlemen, listeners to the mid-morning show on BBC Radio 2, Christmas has officially started. Here is Michael Bublé!
The snow's coming down. I'm watching it fall. Lots of people around. Baby, please come home. The church bells in town are ringing songs full of happy sounds. Baby, please come home. That's singing at the heart, but it's not like Christmas at all. I remember when you were here, and all the fun we had last year. Pretty lights on the chimney, watching them shine. You said you would please, please come home. Christmas at all. I remember when you were here, all the fun we had last year. Oh, if there was a way, oh, that used to it. Oh, but it's a Christmas day.
Yes, Michael Bublé! Right, we're up and running now. We're full steam ahead. We're in top gear. Michael Bublé has joined the party. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. We love that. Michael Bublé, thank you very much. It wouldn't be Christmas without a Michael Bublé song on the show. Good stuff. And we'll play that for everyone who's preparing for pantomime. Because I know a lot of people are busy up and down Great Britain getting ready for panto season. I would imagine that some pantomimes have started already. And there are some that run into February, March. So good luck to everyone who's performing in a panto. And if you do have a pantomime near you, go and support your local pantomime. Take the kids, take the family, take anyone. Because it's great fun. Right, we started something here. Richie and I earlier on were saying that on Sunday We went for a family roast dinner, something that we've not done in a long time. Ava, a good roast potato is far more valuable than a Yorkshire pudding in my book, says Jill. In book fasting, yes, I agree with that. I really do agree with that. Because Richie was saying that at the buffet, the meat is equal to the Yorkshire pudding. So on some carveries, you're only allowed a limited number of Yorkshire puddings and certain amount of slices of whatever meat you have or vegetarian option. Ava, and Yorkshire pudding is 100% the best thing on Sunday dinner. As long as there are Yorkshire gravy and roast potatoes, I can quite happily skip the rest, says Katie Newcastle. Surely not. Hey Vern, I also went out and had my first turkey dinner of the year yesterday. Turkey is the king of roast dinners and should be eaten all year round. I agree with that. Matthew Gourmet in Manchester. But they never give you enough gravy, do they? We always have to ask for more. Yeah. But when we order, Tess always says, and can we have extra gravy? Especially if you're north of Birmingham, you like your food wet. You know, especially on a Sunday. Simple as that. Just smother it in gravy. And if the gravy has been used or made from the stock from whatever meat you're having, then that's just... Oh, what have we started? I'm salivating. What have we started? I can taste it, I can see it, I can smell it. Bring it on. Right, this is Your Christmas to Me from Sam Ryder. Your Christmas to Me, Sam Ryder. Sam Scott Mills' guest tomorrow on a show from 2. Scott's absolutely flying at the moment. He's doing panto. Yeah, Scott Mills is doing panto. So we've had a long chat after my experience at the Wickham Swan, which I loved. Absolutely loved it. Had a right laugh. Morning, Vaughn. Cauliflower cheese is an absolute star of the Sunday dinner. Chris in Barnsley. Yeah, Janine's nodding her head. Phil, cauliflower cheese on a roast. No, no. I think when it gets mixed up with his gravy, I think you're in trouble there. I do like cauliflower cheese, don't get me wrong, but on a roast, not too sure. That's only my opinion, Chris. Obviously, in Barnsley, you like a bit of cauliflower cheese with your roast. Hey, Vern, I was in Panthor last week, played the fairy godmother in Dustin Player's Cinderella in Northampton. Had such a good time, says April. And then this is a good one. Hey, Vern, can you say a huge happy birthday to my wonderful husband Lee, who celebrated his 52nd birthday today. We're off to enjoy the Christmas festivities at Windsor Castle and sink a few prosecco's. We also welcome to the world our gorgeous grandson Teddy on Tuesday. What an amazing week, that's for Claire, Tunbridge Wells. He's a big fan of roasters. Next week on Tracks in My Ears, Jamie Oliver is sitting down and giving us his 10-track journey. So obviously, this time of year, we're going to talk everything roast potatoes.
Stand by for switching. Get tuned to Radio 2.
ULO calling.
Is it direct television?
This is London. BBC Radio 2. Billed as the greatest show on earth.
One thing's never going to change.
It's all over. Radio 2, go.
For the first time this week, let's dive into the BBC archive. Now, if you're new to the show, welcome. We appreciate your company. Every day, twice a day, we dive into the BBC archive. Now, the BBC archive is exactly what it says on the tin. All the stuff that's been broadcast, both on the radio and television, and whatever outlet the BBC has been documented and very well. They've done a great job in the BBC archive. I don't know whether it's done by year, and then week, and then day, or alphabetically, but it's all there. There are some bits and pieces that are missing. We've talked about this in the past. I think the moon landings, or something to do with the Apollo spacecraft, they're missing. That's no longer available in the BBC archive. However, today we're going back to Blue Peter, 1969. And we're going back to the days when things were a little bit simpler in the world, especially when it comes to entertainment. And this particular show features a proper northern pastime. Brass bands. In this clip you'll hear John Noakes with a guy called Ted Sykes from the Pilling Jubilee Silver Brass Band. And as we've come to know and love with Blue Peter and On the Vault, courtesy of the BBC archive, there is a twist and, of course, a dad joke.
Yeah, what you might think is just a copper kettle, except that Ted Sykes from Easel near Blackpool, apart from making an early morning cup of tea from it, can play it as a musical instrument. Not to be outdone by Ted, I shall attempt to play the copper kettle. I can get out. It's a rather rude noise. We actually got Ted today with us in the studio, and he's going to give us a demonstration. Hello, Ted. Hello. Ted, how do you play a copper kettle? Well, I'm not playing the copper kettle. I've played in the band for about 18 years. Yes. Cornet. Yeah. And I take my cornet mouthpiece, put it in the kettle spout saw, and then... Much better than me. Where did you get the copper kettle from? Well, it's heirloom. My mother's, but I believe came from my granddad who won it, showing vegetables at Preston. I've done vegetables at the must have. Thanks very much. Okay. Fine. Not everybody's cup of tea, though, is it? Oh, we love it!
Do you know what? It's the fine detail that makes these clips really special. And as he's talking, John Noakes, to Ted Sykes, the camera pans down onto the copper kettle, and it's a black and white clip. But you can tell Ted's a grafter, because his fingernails are filthy. Love that. And they're out copper accents now. And it's a decent copper kettle. Very shiny. Obviously used the old brasso on it, got it in tune, I guess. Love that type. So brass bands started way back in the 19th century with the northern industrial workers getting together to entertain themselves. And brass had been a main staple of the bands, obviously, brass band. And it seems that everyone could get their hands on a brass instrument. So therefore, collieries and other places, big industrial places of work, factories and stuff, had a brass band. And that's how it all came about. Amazing stuff. So from copper kettles to trumpets, this one definitely had to be Claire. It's Bad Manners, some special brew for everyone with a copper kettle. Getting a lot of love. Getting a lot of love. Bad Manners, special brew. Oh, Vern, Fab, Buster, look, that's so. Love it. Gonna see them at Rock City, Nottingham, for their Christmas tour. Well, look at this, guys, says Amanda B. Bad Manners at this time of morning, thank you very much. Got me doing my best Buster Blood Vessel around the kitchen. Cheers, Vern, from Sam in Hereford. Morning, Vern. Tongue twister from Kate in Sussex. I'm not even going to attempt that about copper kettle, but I think we'll get Kate to explain on a voice note what she's talking about. She's got a copper kettle related tongue twister. So hopefully Kate will leave us a voice note and explain in more detail what we mean, because I'm not even going to attempt that. It does look, it reads like tongue twister. Never mind me trying to say it. So there you go, that was the first clip of the day of the week from the BBC archive. Brass bands and a gentleman called Ted Sykes from the Pilling Jubilee Silver Brass Band playing a copper kettle. And next up in the archive, or from the archive, at about, well, let's say 10 past 11, we've got a BBC Music archive track from Stormzy. Yep, coming up after 11.
Feeling Christmassy yet?
On BBC iPlayer. With ghosts.
Need to work out what puts you in the Christmas mood.
It was always the smell of the mulled wine. Bad education.
They call me
There goes. Still Christmas.
I think the kids are just being unkind.
Gossip Girl. Have a holly jolly Christmas. XOXO. Find your festive.
It's a Christmassy recall.
Merry Christmas
Now you feel Christmassy.
on BBC iPlayer.
What's the English fella who's in Gossip Girl? English actor.
Oh,
What's his
who is
name?
that?
Give it a type up. Because I've just realised that my daughter's watched Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
And he's got an American accent. Ed Westwick, that's it. Ed Westwick. He's in it with an American accent, but he's actually English.
Oh.
Yeah, good actor. Morning, Ed. You all right? What's the travel like, Richie?
Busy in Scotland. So the M90, the northbound side, partially blocked. This is in Perthington Ross, between 9 for Bridge of Burn and 10.
Bridge of where? All right.
Not Burn.
Oh,
Got
got a bit greedy then.
Do you know what? I mean, off the back of the
Got a bit greedy.
marathon, they could have, get themselves a little press. You know what I mean? Could have been at the start. In Croydon, in Lincolnshire, the A16 blocked because of an accident. That's between Low Road and Holbeach Road. M6 South, winding out between 19 and 18 for Holmes Chapel. The M65 is slow between 6 for Blackburn and 5, that's because of that incident. The M62 westbound, a lane out on the Enfield Road at 23 for Huddersfield because of a breakdown. The M1 South, busy at 35 for Rotherham because of a breakdown. M6 North, slow. This is in the West Midlands between 5 for Castle Brom and 6 for Spaghetti Junction. The M4 closed because of an accident between 22 and 21. The M5 South, everything being held between 20 and 21. And on the M25, clockwise, the lane blocked on the Exit Road at 6 for Godstone. That's because of a breakdown. You're up to date, Ram.
Thank you very much, Richie. Now, last week, a lot of gardeners were getting in touch because the ground was frozen.
Yeah.
We had a chilly spell down here, down south, and I know there's a chilly spell at the moment up north. Lots of snow in the roofs, yellow weather warning. I think they're still around at the moment, not too sure, we'll check that. So I decided, being nudged because of the gardeners that were getting in touch last week, I thought I'd do a bit of gardening myself, a bit of pruning. Now, I don't know whether it's too late or too early, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, I got my miniature chainsaw out, and I thought I did a pretty decent job. Everything seemed to be level-ish, and in fact, I know I did a good job. Do you know why I know I did a good job?
How?
Because Tess hasn't noticed. She hates me pruning the trees, because apparently I always make a mess.
Only got so long till the morning comes. And life is too short to be wasted. So wrap it up, twist me something to make it strong enough, last long enough before the night is up. Just give me something to pull me up, make it strong enough and never come down. Something to make it strong enough, last long enough. Oh, the night is up. Just give me something to make it strong enough. I'm never coming down.
It's the Jonas Brothers and Bailey Zimmerman. It's called Strong Enough. show. Hey Vern, thanks for shouting out local pantomimes. Ours is this week, or next week, sorry. Cinderella 2, The Sisters Strike Back. That's courtesy of the Storrington Dramatic Society. Red leg, everyone, from Graham, the director. Oh, tell me, Graham, you wear a cravat. I think every director should wear a cravat. And have one of those big, amplifying, kind of trumpet things. You know, like a megaphone. Yeah, but an old school one, not an electric one, an old school one. Action! Cravat, smoking jacket. You know what I mean, Graham? In fact, there are a lot of panto people who've been in touch. So what we'll do for next week, let's try and round up all the pantos that are up and down Great Britain. A lot of hard work, a lot of effort goes into the Christmas pantos. So maybe there's a small panto near you, a local panto by your local Amdram group. Get in touch, we'll shout you out. You know what to do. Vernon, V-E-R-N-O-N, at bbc.co.uk. Vernon at bbc.co.uk, 88291. Or on the WhatsApp, 080288291. Get in touch. Tell us what you're in, or if you're an usher at a theatre, tell us what panto is on in your theatre, and we will shout you out. Because it's one of the four corners of Christmas, isn't it, the panto? I love that. We'll have this from Darius, and then we'll get into 10 to the top. The first competitive round of 10 to the top of the week. This is Colourblind. Darius, Colourblind. Colourblind, I'm glad we played that, BBC Radio 2. Right then, Sue has been on. Oh, no. Please, can you wish my niece, Sue Benfield, a happy birthday today? She's had a rotten year, so we're hoping that 2024 will be an improvement. Love from Claire. Sue, you're not the only one. That's one thing I learned when we were doing the run. Is that a lot of people have a tough time. A lot of people have a tough time in life. And you're not the only one, Sue. You'll be all right, trust me. Especially if you've got friends like Corey. You'll be great, as they say. Just keep talking. Hi, Bert. Please can you say a massive happy birthday to my dad, Steve Hamby, who's celebrating turning 70 years young today. 70. Yes, very good. Tell you what, you're playing cricket at 70, that's a darn good, isn't it? Going round in a bit for sausage sandwiches and a few drinks this afternoon. That's from Caroline in Hull in East Yorkshire. Enjoy that, sausage sandwich and a couple of pints. Perfect. Right, it's time for the first round of 10 to the top of the week.
BBC Radio 2, 10 to the top.
Katie Brewer in Ulverston is our first contestant. Good morning to you, Katie. But chilly for a Monday, isn't it?
It's absolutely freezing. Practically sat in my fire trying to keep warm.
Oh, I'm not liking this at all. Your proudest achievement is your job as a detective.
That is right.
Oh, wow, real proper Poirot.
Almost, not quite. I don't have the fun outfit.
Hey, well, let's talk about it. Being a detective, obviously, being first on the scene is important, and initial evidence, which you can see, feel, touch, smell, is very important. But how do you put the jigsaw puzzle together of a crime?
That would be giving away our tips and tricks, would it not?
Well, I guess so, yeah, but surely there are some basics that I can Google up, do you know what I mean?
It's all about speaking to people, looking at what you can find, all of that good stuff.
Right, so what we learnt in school about history, like primary evidence, secondary evidence, all that's still relevant?
Absolutely, yeah. No, you can't beat the basics.
Oh, good. I know that you're keeping your cards very close to your chest, I can tell. I like it though. You also played on Most Haunted, a live recording in Liverpool. How was that?
It was exciting. I can't say I saw any spooks, but it was really good fun. I really enjoyed it.
How do you usually do on 10 to the top?
Depends on the questions. I normally do okay-ish, but I'm not going to get my hopes up today. I'm just going to have fun.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Have fun and take your time.
Noted.
And being a detective, you've got to pick up on the clues, because there are clues in the questions sometimes. So, all right, here we go. Good luck.
Thank you.
To the top on Radio 2.
Your first question, as you know, is worth 1 point. Morrissey and Johnny Marr were the songwriters and core members of which 80s group?
That is The Smiths.
Of course it is. One of my favourite tracks in my ears last week with Johnny Marr, superb storyteller. Right, for 2 points. Complete the title of this 2013 hit by Fatboy Slim. It's called Eat, Sleep, Rave, what?
Repeat.
Yes, again, repeat. For 3 points, it's your first clip. Here's an American soul group. There's a clue, write that down. Who were sitting inside the UK top 3 this week in 1981. One big clue. All you need to do is name them, please.
Not my strong point. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh, should have known that.
It's questions like that where you just got to guess. Because we know it's a little bit disco-y. We know it's 1981. Not many people would put that together except Earth, Wind and Fire. All right, we go down the ladder. This one's worth 1 point. We've got 3 in total at the moment. Let's see if we can put a run together and play our joker. Name the song that David Bowie gifted to Mock the Hoople in 1972, which then gave them their breakthrough hit.
No, again, not my era. I can't even guess, sorry.
It was All the Young Dudes.
Never heard of it.
All the Young Dudes. Good tune. Bowie produced the song too, as he was a super fan of the band, and he also couldn't believe that they were about to break up before this kind offer due to lack of success. Well, that changed after that team. Right, for a point. Boom Shake the Room spent a fortnight at number 1 for DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. But in what year?
I'm going to have a guess at 1999.
Oh no, way before that!
Oh!
93!
Oh!
93, come on, we've had 3 wrong answers in a row. This is not good. We seem to have driven into a cul-de-sac of answers. Right, in 1979, Ain't No Stopping Us Now was a top 10 hit for which duo?
No, don't know.
It was McFadden and Whitehead. Tough question.
Oh my goodness.
We know the track, we don't know the performer. That's a big tune, Ain't No Stopping Us Now, but I didn't know it was McFadden and Whitehead.
No.
So like a haulage company from the northeast. Here's a question for a point. Which American boy band had top 10 hits in 1999 with the songs I Want You Back and Tearing Up My Heart?
This is much more my thing. It's NSYNC.
Yes, it is NSYNC. Right then, here we go for 2 points. The 2007 #1 cover version of What a Wonderful World saw Eva Cassidy posthumously collaborate with another female musician. But who is she?
No idea.
Oh, it's Katie Mellower.
Oh,
Your next clip is worth 1 point. Here's a 2003 #1 smash featuring a rap superstar who's celebrating his birthday today. Can you identify him?
the only rap person I can think of is Kanye West.
Oh no! No! Katie!
Oh, sorry.
As a detective, listen closely. Even says his name.
I need to get a different job.
I turned to the fishbowl and went, we've just given his name away.
I'm sorry.
Oh, what a shock. I gave you a point there, Katie.
I'm going to get sacked when I go back to work.
Hey, but when you do get sacked, it looks like you'll be sipping from your 10 to the top coffee mug.
What could be better?
Hey, but you never know. We have had a winner with 3 points, and at the moment, you've got 4. But it's the last question. We've not played the joker. We're going to do that now. You could make it 6, which would give you a decent chance on 10 to the top, but you need to get this right. What's the 3-word title of the 1988 song that gave Misha Paris her chart debut?
The only one I know is My One Temptation.
Yes! Well done. You got 6 points.
Yay!
Yeah. You're never ever going to live that down.
I'm absolutely not. I'm never going to leave the house.
All right, well done. At the moment, the smart speaker is sat on your mantelpiece, but let's see if Joe Simpson in Stockton-on-Tees can beat that score and snatch it from you and give you the coffee mug after this from Coldplay.
Christmas night, another fight, tears we cry, a flood. Bottle towns are poison a poison in our blood. I took my feet to Oxford Street, trying to ride alone. Just what the news windows say, and I can't believe she's gone. And you're still waiting for the snow to fall. Doesn't it feel like Christmas now? Doesn't really feel like Christmas around. Those Christmas lights light up the street down where the sea is sailing. May all your troubles soon be gone. Oh, Christmas lights keep shining on. Those Christmas lights light up the street. Maybe they'll bring your light to me. And then all my troubles will be gone. Oh, Christmas lights keep shining on.
BBC Radio 2, 10 to the top.
6 is the score to beat. That was set by Katie. Let's see if Joe Simpson in Stockton on Tees can beat that. Good morning to you, Joe.
Morning, Vernon.
Hey, Joe, you're a keen swimmer.
I have been, yeah. Yeah, I did the challenge last year. I'm ready to do it again this year, yeah.
Oh, you did 44 miles in aid of
I did.
diabetes, a diabetes charity.
I did, yes, yeah.
Did you do that in open water? Did you do it in the ocean? Where did you do that?
No, I did it at local pools. I've done open water swimming before, but I didn't actually do that for my challenge, no.
Oh, good for you. And they say that swimming is one of the best exercises for you because it gets every muscle in your body working. It's tough. I've done a bit of swimming myself, and what I find about swimming is it's quite therapeutic because you get into a rhythm, don't you?
It is, yeah, very therapeutic. Yeah.
What do you do? Do you do front crawl, breaststroke?
Breaststroke and a little bit of backstroke. Every few lengths. Add a bit of backstroke in. Yeah,
fair enough. Hey, you love a jigsaw?
I love a jigsaw, yeah. Yeah.
Right, give us some tips on how you complete a big jigsaw. I'm not talking like less than 100 pieces. I'm talking the big ones, the whoppers. You know, the ones that take literally a lifetime to get out the box.
I just need to be prepared to not do anything else when I get a jigsaw out because it's a very happy place to be and I don't do anything else.
Do you have the stereo on in the background? You have the radio on?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Oh, nice. Lovely. And do you have jigsaws with a certain picture? Is there anything you like? Pets? Vistas?
I'll do anything really. I quite like the difficult ones and I tend to frame the ones that are really, really difficult. So I've got quite a few framed jigsaws up. I've got Bowie up, I've got my little dogs up. I've got a squid game jigsaw up, which was really, really tough. And I just couldn't put any of them back in the box, so they're on the walls.
Do you have a roller blanket for when you finish?
No, I don't, because I just do it on the dining room table. And I have to pick a time to do them when I've got nothing on the agenda, really. Very time consuming.
Do not disturb sign on the front door. Leave me alone, I am doing a jigsaw.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Oh, very good. You're a semi-retired nurse?
Yes. A children's nurse at the local hospital, so I just dropped my hours back in June to part-time and dropped a grade. So, yeah, all is good. More time for jigsaws.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. How do you usually do on 10 to the top?
Well, when I'm just listening and not attending, I usually do all right, I would say. Very reasonable, but feel very nervous about being honest. But anyway, just see how I go.
Yeah, see how you go. Don't worry about it. It's no pressure.
No.
You've got 6 to beat, and if you do beat 6, then obviously you'll get the smart speaker. If not, you get a coffee mug, which you can have sat right next to you when you're doing your jigsaw. Right, let's see how you do. Here we go, then. spent a month at number 1 in 1979 with her song, I Will Survive?
That'll be Gloria Gaynor.
It is Gloria Gaynor, yeah. Two of Madonna's biggest 80s hits have the words like a in the title, like a something in the title. The first was Like a Virgin in 1984, but what was the other one in 1989?
Prayer?
It was, yes. Bravo, you. That's 2 points.
Whoa.
The next question is a clip and it's worth 3.
Okay.
Way back in 1960, this song was at number 2 on this week's chart, stuck behind Elvis Presley. Can you name the legendary soul group performing it, please?
'Cause don't forget taking you home and in his arms you're gonna be. So darling, say the last dance for me.
I think that was the Drifters.
You think correctly. Well done. Yeah, 3 points to you. Perfect. This one's worth 4.
Okay.
FAB, Fab, featuring MC Parker, reached the top 5 in 1990 with a rave remix of the title theme to which classic kids TV puppet series?
Oh, no idea. The Muppets.
Thunderbirds.
Oh, Thunderbirds, yeah.
All right, we've fallen down the ladder. This one's worth a point. The Bluebells had a number 1 single in 1993. What was the 3-word title of that track in 1993?
Love at Heart.
Yes, brilliant stuff. Well done, Joe.
One of my faves.
Yeah, I like that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
In what year did the Bee Gees spend a month at number 1 with their song, You Win Again?
Can I say 92?
You can, but it's wrong.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no idea.
Oh, it was 1987.
Oh, wow, right.
Right, this is a good one. It's worth a point.
Okay.
Actually, this brings back so many memories to me. Waiting for a Star to Fall was a top 10 hit in 1989. You know the track?
Yes, I do know the track.
All right, what's the name of the duo that performed it?
Oh, I've gone blank. I just cannot think. I kicked myself.
It was Boy Meets Girl.
Oh, right, yeah.
Waiting for a star to fall.
Yeah.
Right, for a point, come on.
Okay.
Complete the title of this top 3 hit from 2012 by Rizzle Kicks. Mama do the what?
Mama do the, hump hump?
Yes! I'll give you that!
Yay!
It's just a
Yay.
single hump, but you went for double camel hump. Yes, well done, hump hump. Mama do the hump. Yeah, you got a point. Right, you've got 2 questions left. You've still to play a joker. This next one's worth 2. It's your second and final clip.
Okay.
At the end of 1996, Maria Naylor was the featured vocalist for this DJ and producer.
Pressure's on. I don't think I could even guess. No idea. Sorry.
You had a hit called Children?
Robert Miles.
Yes, it was.
Oh, dear.
Unlucky. Right, this is your last question. It's worth a point. We're going to play a joker. Now worth 2. In 1999, which boy band had consecutive top 10 hits with the songs Be the First to Believe and Summertime of Our Lives?
I'd have to guess Westlife. I know that's far too late. No idea.
No, you find them first in the phone book.
One.
Yes. Hey, listen, Joe, you got 8 points.
Oh, wow, brilliant.
Yeah, you've won the smart speaker.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Raymond.
Hey, no problem. Commiserations, Katie.
I am pleased with my mug. I'm excited.
Yeah, you've got the coffee mug, so you can have that next time you're in the office. Congratulations to you both. Thanks for playing. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you. Brilliant. Thank you.
Very much enjoyed. Thank you.
All right, good stuff. So big thank you to Joe and Katie. And if you want to do exactly what they've just done and come on air and play 10 to the top, you've got to WhatsApp us using the WhatsApp number 08000 288 291, or you could email me 10 to the top at bbc.co.uk. We'll play again tomorrow.
10 to the top on Radio 2.
Jackie Wilson. How did you do on 10 to the top? Let us know. 88291, 88291, or 802 on the free WhatsApp application if you've got that on your phone. Right, Richard?
Yeah, all good.
All right, what you got, buddy?
Busy in Scotland. It's a perfect in Ross. The M90 northbound partially dropped because of an accident between 9 and 10 in full curve. The M9 north partially dropped because of debris on the road between 6 and 7. And in Glasgow, on the M8 eastbound, the entry slip road is closed due to a bridge that's been struck by a vehicle at Junction 19 for Anderston Cross. In Grantham, the Great North Road, the A1's blocked, queuing, an accident. At the moment, that is at the Malton Mowbray turning. M62 westbound, a lane out on the entry slip road at 23 for Huddersfield. Speke Boulevard in Merseyside, the A561's closed between Woodend Avenue and Penketh Drive. In Birmingham, in Erdington, Tyburn Road, closed because of an accident between Bracken Road and Holly Lane. The M4 is closed between 22 and 21. The M27 eastbound, a lane out on the exit slip road at Junction 7. And Axminster in Devon, Chard Road, blocked because of flooding between Lodge Lane and Goldsmith Lane. Bernard, you up to date?
Thank you very much, Richie. Linda in Colchester has been on today, Bern. Can you just give us a quick hello? I need some motivation. I'm sat at my sewing table making bags for my next craft fair. Hello to my fellow crafters. Linda, you'll get there. Keep ploughing through. Come on. That's my impression of a sewing machine, not a kazoo.
Oh, no.
This is Dua Lipa, the brand new one from her, Houdini. Hey, Vernon, I got 4 points, so can I have a mug, please? Liam from Swindon. Hey, Liam, there's only one mug on this show. Ready, one. Oh, I've got to tell you, the fishbowl are all pointing at each other. That's very funny.
This is BBC Radio 2
On BBC Sounds.
and on your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio 2.
BBC News at 11 o'clock. This is Claire Runacres. The government's expected to set out its plans to reduce legal migration later today. The latest figures show 745,000 more people arrived in the UK than left last year. That's the highest number on record. Tomorrow, ministers are due to announce a treaty with Rwanda as they try to revive their plans to send asylum seekers there. Under the agreement, British lawyers could be stationed in courts in Rwanda after the Supreme Court raised concerns about the country's legal system. Baroness Chakrabarti is a Labour peer, barrister and human rights activist.
It would take a considerable period of time for that formula to be tested. It could be years. Now, I have an ethical problem with first world countries behaving this way and palming off their convention responsibilities on Rwanda or other developing countries. But as a matter of law and evidence, this would certainly be no quick fix.
New figures show that increases to benefits are failing to keep up with the rise in the cost of living for the poorest people in the UK. According to the Office for National Statistics, prices for those on the lowest incomes went up by 8.2% in the year of September, while benefits increased by only 6.7%. The Israeli military has denied that it's trying to move Palestinians from Gaza permanently as it continues evacuation efforts in the territory. It's urged more than 100,000 Palestinians to move further south as it intensifies its assault. The UN estimates about 75% of Gaza's population has now been displaced. Sari Bashi from Human Rights Watch says Israel is failing to protect civilians.
Telling people to flee when there's no safe place to go to, no safe way to get there, and in the case of yesterday and the day before, utter confusion and mistakes about where they're supposed to go, that is not an effective warning.
The Culture Secretary, Lucy Fraser, has said an increase to the TV licence fee of almost £15 next year would be too much. It's expected to go up to just over £173 a year, in line with inflation. but Ms. Fraser said she was concerned a significant rise would add to cost of living pressures. Spotify says it's cutting about 1,500 jobs, almost a fifth of its global workforce. The music streaming firm told staff it was aiming to become more efficient after a slowdown in growth. It's not known how many jobs will be lost in the UK, where Spotify has around 880 employees. Two giant pandas that have spent 12 years at Edinburgh Zoo are on their way back to China. Zookeepers have made sure that Yang Guang and Tian Tian are used to their containers they're being transported in. David Field is the zoo's chief executive.
Oh, it's terribly emotional. Tian Tian is already sitting in her crate and I say crate, their first-class bedroom accommodation that's about to go onto the plane. Yang Guan and Tian Tian have had their lovely breakfast this morning and all going smoothly so far.
BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 11.
Thank you, Claire. Caught you unawares there, I think.
What can I say?
Well, metaphorically speaking, there was a butterfly in the room.
Oh.
Yeah, I was aware with the fairies. I was thinking about Christmas gifts. I was thinking about, oh, bonfire was lovely. You know, all those random things that pop in your head when you're listening to Dua Lipa. So that's why we were, I think it was approximately 5 seconds late for the news.
What can I say?
We're friends, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Do you know what I mean?
BBC
Thank you, Claire. We'll start the 11 o'clock hour with a Christmas classic. Chris Rea. And if you've got an open fire, wherever you are, this is going to draw you closer to it. And you're going to do that stereotypical thing where you rub your hands together and put them out in front of it.
For Christmas. Oh, I can't wait to see those faces. Driving home for Christmas, yeah. Well, I'm moving down that line. And it's been so long. But I will be there. I sing this song to pass the time away. Driving in my car, driving home for Christmas. It's gonna take some time, but I'll get there. Top to toe in taillights. Oh, I got red lights all around. But soon there'll be a freeway, yeah. Get my feet on holy ground. So I sing for you. Though you can't hear me when I get through. And feel you hear me. I'm driving home for Christmas. Driving home for Christmas. With 1,000 memories. I take a look at the driver next to me. He's just the same. Just the same. Top to toe in taillights. Oh, I got red lights all around. I'm driving home for Christmas, yeah. Get my feet on holy ground. So I sing for you. Though you can't hear me when I get through. Go and feel you hear me. Driving in my car, driving home for Christmas. Driving home for Christmas. With 1,000 memories. Take a look at the driver next to me. He's just the same.
all set. We are all set. I mean, that from Chris Rea, and then earlier on we had Michael Bublé. Loving it. Hey, we still not opened the doors on the Christmas calendar, the ones that we missed. Today's the 4th of December, we've got 3 to open. Coming up on the show, Cher is going to be starting her 10-track journey on Tracks of My Years. One of them is one of her greatest hits, she talks about that, and the other tune that she's chosen is her favourite Christmas track. And Cher is with us all this week. We've still got a track to play from our album of the week from Peter Gabriel, that's I.O. And it's all good. Hey Vern, I just did that hands to the open fire gesture, and I'm nowhere near a loft burner. Says Mincer from Wrexham. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. Whenever Chris Rea comes onto your radio, you've got to just remember that it's time for that festive fire. Carrie in freezing and frosty Aberdeenshire, she's got the wood burner going. She actually did the hand thing in front of the open fire. And she's going to have cranberry and brie. Oh, on a sandwich with bacon for lunch. Stop it. It's the latest tune from Lenny Kravitz. It's called TK41. 11 minutes past 11, we're going to dive into the archive again. Second time today after this.
This show is my favourite 2 hours of the week, but this time it's a little bit different. It just might be my favourite 2 hours of the year. It was definitely a case of Christmas coming early, as I spent time with not one, but 2 phenomenal stars.
On BBC Sounds.
I was beyond excited to welcome Barbara Streisand. If that wasn't enough, Nicole Scherzinger was here as well.
The Michael Ball Show.
So now with your smart speaker, just say ask BBC Sounds to play Michael Ball.
Stand by for switching. Get tuned to Radio 2.
It is direct television.
edition.
This is London. BBC Radio 2, billed as the greatest show on earth.
One thing's never going to change.
They think it's all over. Radio 2, go.
We're going to put our foot through the door of the BBC archive, courtesy of Vernon's Fault, for the second time today. Well, earlier on, we played you a clip from Blue Peter from 1969. And it was John Noakes with a fella from a brass band playing a copper kettle. I know, it's random, but it's extremely entertaining. And then we had a message from Kate in Sussex, who tried to get me to read out a tongue twister. Now, I didn't want to try it on air because, I'll be honest with you, I was struggling reading it because I didn't understand it. So Kate has sent us a voice note. This is what she was messaging and this is what she meant.
Hi, it's Kate from Sussex. I sent you a tongue twister, Vernon. I'm ashamed you didn't give it a go, but here we go. Are you copper bottoming on my mum, or are you aluminium on my mum?
Well done, Kate. Are you copper bottoming? Didn't even get there. Are you copper bottoming on my mum? No, I'm aluminium. My mum. What? I'm not a drink for 12 weeks. So, are you copper bottoming in my mum? No, I'm aluminium. No, you're alright. Kate in Sussex, you got me. Bravo, you. So let's get into the archive for the second time, and we are going to go back to 1979. U2 first appeared at the Hope and Anchor pub in Islington, North London. Incorrectly billed as the U2s, they played to only 9 people, and the show ended abruptly after the egg broke a guitar string. Now let's fast forward exactly 25 years to 2004, and the #1 album in the UK on that day was How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb by, you guessed it, U2. The album was a worldwide hit and peaked at #1 in 30 countries, so Ed could probably afford a spare guitar string by now. Done well for themselves. Meanwhile, there's another gig of note exactly a year later, on the 4th of December 1980. That's when Prince played the first night on his 31-date Dirty Mind tour at a venue called Shays in Buffalo, New York. And with it being Prince, it wasn't a straightforward gig. It wasn't straightforward just going out and playing some songs with his band. Apparently, his planned outfit for the night was spandex trousers, standard, without any underwear. But after being told he wouldn't be allowed on stage dressed like that, Prince began performing in a long trench coat, black high-heeled boots, leggings, and bikini bottoms. I think it's fair to say the good people of Buffalo hadn't seen anything like that before. I think that's my statement outfit. I'll test my go for dinner. Walk into Pizza Express like that. I'll have a Lorraine, please. Oh, love Prince. And on this day, a year ago, Stormzy went straight to the top of the chart with his third album, This Is What I Mean. There's a vision for him. Just shaving Cliff Richard's Christmas with Cliff in an unexpected battle for #1. Very good. So what better way? Well, it's an excuse for us to play one of the brilliant tracks Stormzy performed when he was in the BBC Radio 2's Cameroon earlier this year, taking on one of his vocal heroes. Here's Stormzy's version of Alita Evans' Get Here. Very nice. You can reach me far away.
can reach me by speedboat. Climb a tree and swim boat to boat. Take a sled and slide down slow. Trees on the vine. You can jump on a speedy coat. Cross the border in a blaze of hope. I don't care how you get here, just get there if you can. There are hills and mountains between us, always something to look over. If I had my way, surely you would be closer. I need you closer. There are hills and mountains between us, always something to look over. If I had my way, surely you would be closer. I need you closer. You can win something to my life. Take me up on the corporate flight. You can make it, but you better make it soon. Teach me that caravan, cross the desert like an aeroplane. I don't care how you get here, just get there if you can. You can jump on a speedy coat, cross the border in a blaze of hope. I don't care how you get there, just get there if you can.
There you go, Stormzy from the BBC Concert Orchestra. Get here. We like that. Radio 2 in session. And we should just go forward a little bit. February is still coming in. February, we have a full dive. Now, I've seen some of the names, and I'm just going to dangle a carrot before Christmas. They're very good. That's the only carrot you've got.
Oh, nothing else?
Nothing else.
No blues?
No, there's no gravy, there's no Yorkshire pudding. That is the only carrot you're going to get dangled in front of you as I politely tease the piano room in February next year. It's special. It's really, really good. And I'm very, very excited that it's coming up. It's going to be mega. Right, we have got Tracks of My Years on the desk. I think that's a sign of excitement for me on this radio show. You know, I do that quite a lot. Right, Tracks of My Ears with Cher coming your way. BBC Radio 2. But the desk is so old that if I keep doing that, I'm going to take Radio 2 off air as it'll just implode because we're going to be making our way over to broadcasting house very, very soon. So all this is kind of in its last legs.
Probably helping him out.
Probably, to be honest, yeah. Just skip it, burn and broke it. Just put it all in this bit.
Save someone a job.
Yeah, hey, but have you got your eyes on any memorabilia?
Oh, that's a good shout, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good shout. Use the LED screen if you want.
The LED screen, you mean a telly? You can't walk out the building with a telly on your arm.
It's not going to tell you.
It's got a telly, it's an LED screen.
Hamilton's on the clock now.
I think you'll find that's a TV, my friend. All right, Rich, what you got?
We're going to start in Falkirk, the M9, northbound side, partially blocked. That's because of debris on the road between the Junction 6 and Junction 7. Bowes in County Durham, the A66 is closed because of an accident. between Bowes on the A67 and Scotch Corner. The Leeds Inner Ring Road, the A58 on the westbound side, partially blocked because of a breakdown between Claypit Lane and Woodhouse Lane. The M180 westbound, one lane out between Felicia Stinthorpe and 2, they're mending a bridge. M6 south, one lane out between 19 and 18. In Birmingham, Tyburn Road, the A38 closed. On the eastbound side between Brecon Road and Holly Lane. The M4 closed both ways between 22 and 21. Shrewsbury, the A5, the westbound side, blocked because of an accident. So that's at Hereford Road. The Wicks bypass in Essex, the A120 closed because of an accident. That's on Harwich Road and Faygate in West Sussex. Crawley Road's closed because of flooding between Calvert Link and Tower Road. Brian, you're up to date.
Thank you very much, Richard. It's time now for a track from our album of the week. The album is Ion. From Peter Gabriel, this is Peter's first album of new material in over 20 years and follows a year in which he's released a new song on the occasion of every full moon, as well as performed live throughout the UK, Europe and North America. This is Road to John. Peter Gabriel, Road to Joy. Jeremy just joining us. Hi, Jeremy.
I'm seeing amazing reviews for that album, the Gabriel album.
Yeah, there you
5
go.
stars.
Absolutely. Well, here's a little paragraph from the promo material that you get when you choose Peter Gabriel and Album of the Week, I.O. Peter's new songs tackle life and the universe and our connection to the world around us. And all 12 tracks are subject to 2 stereo mixes. The Bright Side mix, handled by Mark Spike Stent, and the Dark Side mix has been reshaped by Shabbat.
So many questions. There are 2 copies of each song, or there's a
2 different mixes.
A different producer on each ear.
Yeah. Oh, that's, well, yeah, we'll discuss after this.
On BBC iPlayer,
This is DCI Silver.
the award-winning series Vigil returns. Murder at a military airbase.
This is tantamount to an act of war.
And a brand new investigation.
What evidence do you have?
I have enough.
Starring Fran Jones
I love you.
and Rose Leslie.
Come home, please.
Vigil starts this Sunday on BBC iPlayer.
Yeah, I would imagine that you get 12 tracks with different mixes, or do you get 24 tracks, or do you get 6 tracks, which are doubled up because you get a different mix of each one.
I'll be
which
honest, the
equals
first,
12.
when you read that, my first instinct was they've got one guy on the right ear and one guy on the left ear. And I thought that could be amazing. Because that's
just the way you work, Jeremy.
well, I don't know.
love it.
Gabriel is a great innovator.
Well, yeah, that's a very innovative idea. If you have different mixes coming out of different sides of the stereo.
Yeah, exactly. Depends how well they know each other.
What you got, Jeremy?
So today, Keir Starmer, Labour leader, praising Margaret Thatcher, and whether that's what you want to do if you're him and you want to get older conservatives, I suppose, because a lot of them would worship at the altar of Thatcher. Of course, his own supporters very much don't, and he's going to cause a bit of a row inside his own party with that. We discuss it. Then Ice Week Monday today, as the RAC AA saying, there's going to be a lot of ice around, and part of it is because of the massive snowfalls at the weekend. Some of the areas you were running in for Tilmany were covered in snow. Peak District, the Cumbria area, and eastern Scotland. Were you caught up in it? We would love to know.
Yeah, interesting. Still got lots of friends in Buxton as we
the High Peak.
Yeah, and the High Peak, and they're struggled at the weekend coming back to Manchester.
That thing where people just pack, they go into a car and they just wear pair of trousers and a thin shirt, and they have nothing spare if they get trapped for 7-8 hours on a motorway.
Yeah, I think my gang, my mates are all used to it, so they're pre-prepared.
Are they the kind of guys who carry shovels?
I'm sure there's a shovel and a truck somewhere.
I felt that. So then yes, medical specialty one is, frozen shoulders. I went to my brother had a frozen shoulder, right?
What's a frozen shoulder?
Good question, because I had this terrible pain. I couldn't move my shoulder in a full arc. You see how I can do it now. So I'm moving my elbow back 360, and it was just stop. It wasn't letting me do it. Almost you've lost that movement, but when you try and do it, it really hurts. And it's to do with the swelling in the joint. It's very, very common. So my brother said he'd got a frozen shoulder. So I said, is that what I've got? And he said, asked me to do a couple of things, and he said, no, that's definitely not a frozen shoulder. So I went to the physio and I said, just to say one thing, I haven't got a frozen shoulder. My brother's ruled it out. And he said, oh, what's your brother do? Is he physio or doctor? I said, no, he's a stand-up comedian. So it turned out I hadn't. I did indeed have a frozen shoulder.
Well, there you go.
And it was sorted out with a single steroid injection. But often that doesn't work. So Dr. Sarah Jarvis talking about that. Very much, if the goalkeeper gets it, they're out for the season.
Dislocated mine a couple of times playing American football. I remember the first time it was a derby game. It was us, the London Warriors, versus the London Blitz. And it popped out after a tackle. And I'm like, oh, coach, my shoulder's, I think the shoulder's gone. And he had a mooch around and he went, there you go, get back in.
I'm like, do you have that? Is that an unusual thing? Because I can't do that.
Did it twice.
You do it at parties or?
No, it just wasn't right, and he knew exactly what was going on.
Incredible. Then 2 school friends, a bit of a football connection with this as well. 2 school friends sit next to each other without realising. They'd been apart for 51 years. James and Colin, they went to school in Liverpool together. They lost touch when they were 16, and they happened to sit beside each other at a Liverpool game. They start talking, and they suddenly realise they were best friends at school.
That.
Isn't that brilliant? So we can talk to James, maybe Colin as well. Love to hear about the friendship rekindled after many, many years by chance. Email vine@bbc.co.uk. Please include your phone number so we can get back to you. Text us, WhatsApp, and we're on in about 27 minutes.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Lovely to see you this beautiful Monday morning. Wonderful. This is Alison Limerick. It's not that one, it's the other one. Make it on your own. One of the highlights of this year, for me, has got to be taken to the stage with Alison Limerick at BBC Radio 2 in the Park in Leicester, when she came on and she did Where Love Lives. That was awesome. Right, coming up, Cher's Tracks in My Years. And then Jeremy, of course. But all that before this. This is brand new from Blossoms and Finlay. It's called To-Do List, in brackets, after the breakup.
Photos to pass the time. Does you know, baby, Might be a time and place when I wanted to see your face. If I'd have never met you, I wouldn't know that. I know now. Might be a time and place when I wanted to see your face. If I'd have never met you, I wouldn't know that. I know now. Might be a time and place when I wanted to see your face. If I'd have never met you, I wouldn't know that. I know now.
Hey Vern, I'm a plumber on my way to Salisbury Lane. It's below Salisbury Hill to fix a leak. And I'll be honest with you, Vern, that's as exciting as it gets being a plumber. Says Hugh in back. Hey Vern, me and my lovely husband are on our way to see our grandson George in Newcastle. He's 4 weeks old. Can you say hi to gorgeous little George, his mum Susie and Amy? Me and my husband Ashley, Granny Diana and Pops. So congratulations Susie and Amy. Beautiful. Hey Vern, can you give a massive mention to me and my sister Sharon? We're currently driving to Cardiff and Cornwall for an eagerly awaited concert with Donny Osmond. That's been Sue. Hey Sue, you're going to party like 1976. You'll have a right good time tonight. Enjoy that, Sue. Yes. Tell you what, Sue, keep in touch. Let us know what it's like tomorrow. Let us know what the concert's like. Let us know what tunes Donny did. And the atmosphere and paint pictures for us. We'll get back in touch. We'll make a note to me. And we'll get back in touch with you, Sue, and you can explain and tell us what it was like watching Donny Osmond tonight in Cardiff. Good stuff. Right, it's time for Tracks in My Ears. Sure invited us to spend some time with her last week. We went to a central London hotel. We sat down, we chatted. Sure and the people were absolutely awesome. They were fabulous, very welcoming. We had a brie, we had a cup of tea. We had some diet fizzy drink as well. The hotel that we went into had a selection of sweets. It was like an old school sweet shop. Remember the reception? They had like a penny tray. Right proper posh. So you could take one of those iconic pink and white striped paper bags, you could fill it up with lots of sweets, and then we made our way upstairs. And then it was time to get the stories from Sharon. What we did, we had one of her tracks, because as you know on Tracks in My Ears, we get into two tracks a day, 10 in total. One of them was a Christmas hit, her favourite. And another one was one of her hits, so therefore we got the story behind the hit. Simple as that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Tracks in My Ears in a nutshell.
Tracks in My Ears. On BBC Radio 2.
You're listening to a very special edition of Tracks of My Ears, featuring an absolute icon of music and entertainment. She sold over 100 million records across 6 decades, has a trophy cabinet chock full of awards, including a Grammy, an Emmy, and an Oscar. And she's also known for being a trendsetter, an activist, a philanthropist, and a fabulous human being. At 77, she's still capable of first, and she recently released her first festival called, appropriately, Christmas. So in this special Tracks in My Ears, we thought we'd spend half the week finding out her favourite Christmas songs, and the other half getting the inside story on her biggest hits. I can tell you there's been quite a few. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome to Radio 2, Sharon.
Thank you.
We're going to kick off your Tracks in My Ears with one of your early hits. Your first hit, actually. I think you were 18 when this was in here. It's called All I Really Want to Do. We'll play it and then we'll chat it. tell us about the time when that was released.
Yes, I must have been 18 because we became famous when I was 19.
Right. Okay. What do you remember about that specific track, about it charting, about the whole rigmarole of becoming a pop star, I guess?
I was really, really nervous. I've never been very confident about singing. So I wanted Sonny to sing on it with me. And he went, no, Sharon, no, you're going to do this. And I just didn't want to do it by myself. And so then I ended up doing it. But I was really nervous and I was really excited. And my friend, Tyler, told me that excitement and nerves can be mistaken for one another. He said, lean into the excitement.
Lovely. And did you enjoy the process of everything that was involved with having a hit single back in the day? Because it must have been new, it must have been exciting, like you said, you were nervous as well. But to become a chart topper at such a young age, with everything that was going on in that period of time, that must have been exciting.
Well, it was great, but it was also a little bit strange because we looked so different and we had so many people that were afraid. Like, they didn't like us. You know how people don't like things that are different? So the grown-ups didn't like us at all, and we finally had to, one of our best friends, who's a giant, Big Jim, started coming around with us, because people were always trying to frighten Sonny just because we looked strange, and, you know, and we thought we looked fabulous.
Well, you did, looking back at all the clips that are available to watch these days. You guys did look fabulous, and it looked like you're having a lot of fun as well.
We did. We had so much fun. But there's a man named Jack Good. He had done a show here. I think it was called Ready, Steady, Go.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and so he was doing a show in America. And he finally came to us and he said, you guys, sell everything you have and go to England because they're going to understand you and they're going to appreciate you. And we did, and we came here, and we just got famous in a minute.
Wow.
So when we went back to America, they thought we were English. So it was like, we really did, like, I knew that something was different when this lady at a sweet shop asked me for my autograph, and she was like a little old lady, and I thought, okay, Jack is right.
How interesting. Now, when you were at that age and you had the single, in the build-up to all of that, did you always want to be on the stage? Is that something you always aspired?
Yes, I never thought I was going to be a singer, though, because in my family, my mom sang, as a matter of fact, I did an album with my mom, and my mom sang, my grandfather sang and played guitar, and my uncle played guitar. So I just thought people did that. You know, I said this before, but it's like, Sonny and I were roommates, and I was in the back bedroom making a bed, and I'm singing away and blah, 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 and Sonny sticks his head around the corner, and he said, is that the radio? And I went, no. And he said, is that you? And I went, yeah. He said, you sing? And I went, yeah. He said, no, but you sing. And I said, yeah. He said, no, sure, you sing. And I went, yeah, I sing. And so then he went and told Philip that I sang. And then one night, Darlene was late for work. No, she didn't get to work. The car got messed up. So Sonny, you know, had already told Philip that. And so Philip said, Sonny says you sing. And I was about to qualify it. And he said, get out there, I just made noise. And that was the beginning. And then